don't fall in love with the golf ball. It's the reason why people have a lot of chicken wing. No control. And learn to hit the ball from that inside position. To gain control, you've got to lose it. You cannot do it enough. Doesn't have to be perfect, remember. Hi everyone, welcome back to another video on the channel. Thank you very much for joining me. My name is Warren Bennett. We've got Trev running around trying to find his tennis ball, which he's lost. And welcome to Sunday, the 2nd of February, and the second video of our 28 video series here in February, which I'm going to put out at 7 o'clock in the evening every day UK time. And welcome to the middle range here at Chestfield. As you can see from the drone shot, the sun's out, a bit watery, but there's a little bit of warmth in it. But mainly we've got this wind straight into me here, so I've got my thermals on. I look like the Michelin man, probably look like that anyway. But we got a video today, and I'm going to say a quote that I say quite a lot of times, especially to the people I used to teach, that don't fall in love with the golf ball. So in golf, we've got to do the opposite to that. So I'm going to show you a little exercise that we can do to make sure, especially in transition, to make sure this club comes down on plane correctly. Okay, so let's get the back camera set up, try and find Trev's ball. Oh, looks like he's found it, and we'll get going. And I'm going to skim over an exercise that I probably did a couple of months ago on the channel. So yeah, not falling in love with the ball. It's difficult, isn't it? Because if you were a complete beginner, and you might be watching this, when you get to the top of the backswings, when you make your backswing, when you get to about here and you're on the way down, too many people go out towards the ball, because why wouldn't you? That's where the ball is. But in golf, we need to do the opposite, especially the club head. So the club head needs to go away from where the ball is. Then in the second half, when the speed's at its most, in the downswing, then it gets thrown out to the ball. And that's why it's so important to be on plane or quite close to plane. To answer a few questions that I've had, why do you have some videos that your hands are out and the club back? That's quite elite stuff. That's to stop a hooker if you're too deep. This is going to give you in a position where your hands and club are coming down first in the downswing. And then from there, you can let kind of physics and let gravity and just let the club head do the work from there. So we've got to get this club on plane to start with. So like with any exercise, there's a right and wrong way to do it. So you want to get your hands going down more towards your right shoe, and most importantly, club head. It's the club head that's the biggest factor here, because what you don't want to do is get your hands going down and the club going out. Then you're in all sorts of trouble, and then you're casting. You're creating no lag at all. So the secret to this, whether you're a hooker of the ball and you want your hands slightly out, a bit more width, or you're a slicer of the ball and your hands are too far out and you want a little bit more down here, the secret to both of those is to get the club head going down with you. Okay, that's the secret to this. Okay, so let's start hitting a few. Backswing. So I'm going to imagine that I'm a slicer over the top of here with the club and hands. Is down to my shoe. Don't fall in love with the ball. Keep it nice and softly here. Just let gravity take hold. Club head comes down as well. A few little pumps, and we're going to kick it away. So you can see there, it's not result based. Actually skin that across the floor, it doesn't matter. It's just learning and practicing order here. You're practicing to hit the ball from a completely different area. So I'm keeping a little bit of pressure into my left forearm here, left bicep I mean. Hands are inside, club head's inside as well. From here we're going to allow the club to swing past us, especially for you slicers of the ball. We're going to allow that club head to now swing past. You cannot swing the club head past if you're out here, it's exaggerated. You probably have to hold on. That's the reason why people have a lot of chicken wing. So don't fall in love with the ball, fall in love with your right foot really. Get it down to your pocket. Little pump, release the club past you. Now I don't have an over the top fault, so all of a sudden I've got a nice little draw there. If you're an inside hooker of the ball, you can do the same thing, but the hands are going out slightly, but the club head isn't falling in love with the ball. The club head is still shallow. Feel a bit of cupping in your right wrist, feel a bit of bowing, or keeping that left wrist nice and firm, obviously if you're right-handed. So it's just learning now to hit the ball, air balls, practice swings, back swing, drop down. That's a slice with the ball. Club head's behind me, I can see it in the peripheral. And learn to hit the ball from that inside position. Repetition exercise. Repetition is the mother of skill. Now I'm getting it. I'm allowing that club to pass me. No control. So my mate Neil said, To gain control, you've got to lose it, but you've got to be in the right position to do that. You slice of the ball, get your hands inside coming down for the first half of the downswing. Don't fall in love with the ball. Get it back away from the ball. You can introduce a bit of setting, a bit of bow to that left wrist to get the club head even further behind you, as you can see. From here, I'm allowing that wrist set to unwind from here, allowing it to pass me. Practice hundreds and hundreds of these. You'd be amazed how much the club head speeds up from that position once you let it go. So we're going to blend that up now. So we're going to practice down, make sure everything's down, take a bit of pace off. It's not a result or a distance-based exercise, if that makes sense. You're not trying to create maximum power here. You're just practicing order. You're practicing putting the club in the correct position. Down. Don't rush that transition move if you've got a problem with over the top. You cannot do it enough. I'm practicing that. I'm trying to feel to get into that position. Obviously, I don't have a fault with that, so it's easier for me. So a little tip if you're ever out on the golf course is this transition move is nice and light. You'd be amazed how much speed goes down the bottom. So if you're light in your hands and soft in the transition with your hands, you'd be amazed how much the club head wants to swing from there. And remember, I say it in many videos, if you've watched the videos before, you don't have to be absolutely perfect. You just got to take away the extremes. So work on, don't fall in love with the ball. Don't go out towards it with your weight. Keep your weight nice and centered. Allow this to drop down. Be nice and light. Practice this drop down. Fall in love with your right leg first. Nice bit of draw up the right there. Thinned it a little bit, but doesn't have to be perfect, remember. So it's difficult, isn't it, this area, this transition area, but I am a great believer in getting the repetitions, and the repetitions don't have to be golf balls. You don't have to go to a driving range and spend your good money on hitting the ball 50 yards doing this. You can do it with air balls. You can just do practice swings. You don't even need to have a full club. You can have grip it down to the metal, so you can do it inside. Down, release. So if you're unsure what down looks like in your downswing of the club head, if you check it indoors, so if you haven't got a mirror or anything, I know now that club head's gone down. The reason why I know that is the club head is still behind my hands. If the club head was coming out, I now know that the club's going out too much and the club head is now falling in love with the ball. So that's my little check. I know when I bring my hands down or if I bring my hands out, no matter what they do, is the club head still needs to be behind your hands about here, right? Because if you're doing hundreds of these repetition exercises, drill exercises away from home, you haven't got a mirror, this is a check and gives you confidence that you know you're doing the right thing. Okay everyone, so sun's actually trying to come out a little bit more, so I'm warming my hands up a bit. It's absolutely freezing, but it's winter golf here in the Northern Hemisphere. So if you play golf this weekend, I hope you've had a great time, and hopefully it's been a bit warmer than it has been here in the southeast of England. But it's dry, sun's out, so I can't complain. So I know a few of you in the Northern Hemisphere have got some snow on the ground. But this type of exercise is a great one, away from hitting golf balls. Because as we know, when the golf ball's down there, it's difficult, isn't it? Because we kind of go back to old. So all this is trying to kind of depositing good swings. So when you do pull the pin, a little bit of this can be bled into your normal swing. Okay everyone, so for myself and Trev, and have a great, no actually not a great golfing week, have a great golfing day if you're playing tomorrow, and we'll see you tomorrow night. Look forward to bringing you another video, and we'll see you then. Cheerio! Right Trev, right we're just going to catch this and no running, ready? Good boy. Whoa, don't jump up, you're too muddy.